How's it guys, Munash here, and we have the first war of season 24 today. So yeah, I was looking forward to this season because things are starting to shake up a little bit now that there's no longer Stubborn, although we are just seeing Protect to replace it. I'm kind of hoping that people will start getting a bit more creative with placements and tactics, but yeah, I don't know, usually when there's one dominant meta or tactic, you know, people just tend to stick to it. But yeah, so today I'm going with Dr. Doom, Warlock, and Falcon, who I actually have quite a few fights to do with him today. And he is still rank 2. I'm really hoping I can get him to rank 3 soon, because I've been sitting on that 43,800 tier 5 class skill for quite a while now. So first up on path 5, we have Kingpin with Ebb and Flow Knockdown and Power Drain. So this should be a pretty straightforward fight. The only thing is I have to be wary that he can purify my debuffs, so I don't want to just punish him when I stun or parry stun. I actually want to just pause a little bit first before I go in for the combo, see if he does shrug it off. If he doesn't, then I can go in. If he does, then I just try again or go for the intercept. But otherwise it's pretty straightforward. Knocking him down is not too difficult. You also have the shock from Doom, which allows you to heavy him, as long as he doesn't purify that as well. And yeah, I just want to take it slow because it is Protect, so I want to use special 3s to get that extra fury. And the reason why it's actually quite important to be dropping heavy attacks is because he does gain those unstoppable buffs whenever he does purify stuff, I think. So at least the stagger will actually prevent him from going unstoppable, then you can just carry on. So that's why Doom works quite well for this fight. I only made a small slip up here where I held my heavy attack for a little bit too long, so I wanted to see if I would have enough time to knock him down after he gets back the protection from Ebb and Flow. So yeah, that was just me playing a little bit risky. It was really unnecessary for this fight, but I just felt like trying it. Didn't think that there would be too much harm in it. Although I did take a special 1 which does apply that black ISO damage, which is a little bit annoying, but otherwise not too bad. Just gotta stick with this playstyle, special 2s, more for damage, and just bait that special 1 just because it's easier to dex than the special 2, and avoid the special 3 just so you don't want to trigger the Protect tactic after you get the Fury buff. Okay, so he goes down, not too bad besides me being a little bit reckless, so I am just gonna heal him up before we move on to the next fight. Okay, and now we're gonna move on to Nova with Ebb and Flow Knockdown and Heavy Hitter. Another fight that Doom works really well for, much better than Kingpin. No shrugging off of debuffs. The only thing is he doesn't always get parry stunned, and he can auto block you, but that's not really an issue with Doom. It's still very easy to knock him down, especially if you can reparry. The only thing is you can't punish his heavy attacks since he does have Heavy Hitter, but otherwise it's not too bad. And he's just a medium champ, so no Protect in this fight. So it should be really straightforward with Doom. And I can use the special 3 here. Also I have Mystic Dispersion, I can take advantage of that because he does have lots of buffs. So I just want to do the usual Doom combo. Then pull up to the special 3. And he doesn't have Protect, I have the Fury, so this should do a good amount of damage. And then yeah, usual Doom rotation. I didn't quite get the perfect power steal in this one, but it's really not an issue. Just gonna go for it again with the special 1. This time I can nullify a buff, get a bit more power with MD, then throw that special 2, and that should take him out. Okay, so that's section 1 for me, pretty straightforward here. And now we're gonna move on to section 2, and there's gonna be a little bit of a change this season because we are doing quite a few boss rushes lately, as in trying to get the boss down with minimal members so we can remove the tactic so everyone else can have an easier time. So now I'm gonna be going on to path 2 in section 2. But first I have this Professor X with E.M.P modification, enhanced energy attacks, burden of might, and rolling thunder. So the main troublesome node here is E.M.P modification, just because it limits the amount of counters you can use for this fight, since you ideally want someone who can either deal with shock, as in has to be shock immune, like Doom, and not even champs like Corvus, Magneto, or Silver Surfer, because they only resist the debuffs, and this is passive shock. Or try to prevent him from throwing special attacks, you know, with power control or something. Or you can block some special attacks, although ideally you wouldn't want to with Rolling Thunder, unless you're using a regen champ. And the special 2 can be avoided without triggering Dex or blocking it. But sometimes the special 1 is unblockable, so you just want to watch out for that. And of course the Falter Timer, you don't want to just punish him if he can punish you back when you miss. You know, you want to parry him or maybe punish a special attack to safely miss without getting hit. Then of course there's Red Guardian, a champ who can't gain buffs, so he will never trigger E.M.P mod. But yeah, Doom works pretty well for this fight. The only thing he doesn't really counter is the Falter, which isn't really an issue since it's very easy to play around, especially when he's not stun immune. But yeah, obviously he is shock immune, he's got some good power control, and the damage is pretty decent, so yeah, it's a pretty straightforward fight with Doom as long as you know how to fight Professor X. The main thing you want to look out for is just the Falter Timer, and of course, don't get hit. Okay, now moving on to the last fight I did last night, which is gonna be this Hulk Ragnarok with strike counter, combat power rate, and power drain. So a pretty good matchup for Falcon. It is pretty straightforward because first of all, Falcon bypasses protect when he's locked on. Although I don't think he would even trigger protect because he doesn't actually hit that hard. Except if you use a heavy attack maybe, or special 2. But otherwise his basic hits are not that bad for protect. Then of course combat power rate isn't really an issue in this fight because he doesn't actually rely on special attacks. You know, he can just do his normal regular damage just from the basic hits. So yeah, it's a very straightforward fight with Falcon, pretty simple. Absolutely nothing could go wrong in this one. And yeah, I just gotta play patient with it, you know, bait that special 1, make sure I don't punish if he is unstoppable, of course. And yeah, just pretty straightforward. He goes down, very simple fight, didn't even take a minute. And I'm barely boosted. I just had that 10% champion boost because I have so many of those, still a few in the stash. So then I wake up this morning and saw that pretty much everyone is just waiting for me to clear the rest of the map ahead. So now I'm gonna apply some big boy boost because we have 4 more fights left. And some pretty stacked fights as well. First one, and probably the least stacked, is going to be this Hyperion with strike counter, combat power rate, and stun once twice shy. So this is a pretty good matchup for Doom. It's not the best just due to the nodes, but otherwise it's not too bad. The main annoying thing is you won't be able to throw special attacks very frequently because of stun once. And also the strike counter, combat power rate means you have to do your combos a certain way, otherwise you won't gain any more power from hitting him. Although you can still copy his power gain when you nullify it. So I did try to throw special attacks whenever I could when I don't have the power sting. I actually used the special 3, but otherwise, besides that, I just did the usual Doom combo, so finishing with the heavy attack, just to stagger that power gain, and then just control the fight like that. Hyperion does become a very basic defender if you can't gain power. So also, he is a large champ, so I can trigger protect, but I actually wanted to play around with that and see basically how hard I can hit in this fight, or I want to see how hard I would hit with the Furies and if that would trigger protect, which it does. So yeah, my crits can trigger protect on that heavy attack, but still with just 2 protections, I'm not doing that little damage. Like, it's still enough to take the fight out without, you know, intercepting to remove it, but might as well just get it done a little bit quicker. And yeah, just stick to the usual Doom combos. And even without the Fury, I drop a 10k heavy attack which triggers protect, and I only have 1 point in Assassin. So yeah, not bad at all with Doom. And now we're going to move on to Boss Island, where things get a lot more interesting. So I'm taking the last 2 on the left. And first up we have a rank 3 thing with Stunning Reflection, Polka Dot Power. and stun vulnerability. So I have sort of done this fight before with Falcon. It was during off season where I used Falcon against a rank 2 thing, and it went pretty well. So I figured he should work well against a rank 3 if I can just boost, you know, to sort of make up for that. And then I was considering using an invulnerability boost for this fight, just in case I need it, you know, if I get cornered or something. But I decided to save it for the boss fight because I thought that would be a little bit more difficult. But spoiler alert, it wasn't. So this was actually the most difficult fight of the war. So I go in with Falcon, just want to get some distance, then lock on. Bait those combos and then punish. And yeah, I'm playing it quite safe in this one because I just don't want to first of all get parried. And also I want to parry him because stunning reflection. So I'm just going to be holding block to get those easy openings. And I still want to be hitting him while I am cooling down from the lock on because I want to get cornered. And it's very easy to get cornered against Sting in a fight like this, especially when you can't parry or use special attacks. Drop a combo, get him to 15, then bait a special attack. Scan and lock on. Okay, then we carry on. Fight's going pretty okay so far, but still a long way to go. Just about a minute in. So yeah, I figured as long as I don't get cornered in this fight, I should be fine. That's the only thing I was a bit worried about. And spoiler alert, it is happening. Like you can see, I'm getting pushed back a little bit more after every special attack. So I do throw in a few intercepts here and there and just try to hit his block, you know, gain some distance. But I still need to bait that special one, and it does have quite a bit of pushback on it. And perhaps locking on while in the corner was a mistake on my part. Because yeah, I'm just not very good at dexing those heavy attacks in the corner. I sort of feel like I have to anticipate it and sort of dex a bit early to get the second dex. But yeah man, now he's just clobbering me with those heavy attacks, not giving me a break. Until he eventually backs off a bit. Now I do have a bit more space. I'm like, okay cool, 35% left, let me go to him before I get cornered again. Now that he's holding block. But nope, it's a trap. He was just holding it for a second and then he punished me after that because he knew I was conscious about being in the corner now after getting clobbered like that. So I take a special one to the face and go down in spectacular fashion, and oh man, that death hurts, dude. First war of the season and first death is on me, and this was the only death we had in group 3 as well, so I was feeling pretty bad at this stage because I tarnished what would have been a perfect war. And I was sort of just hating on myself like, you fool, you absolute imbecile. Why did you die like that, you dirty poopy head, you know, just how did you think you was gonna stay blocking? You didn't do the 2-second rule, you just went in recklessly and you deserve to die. But then, you know, eventually I sort of came to my senses and just started realizing that, yeah, it happened, but it happened, so not much I can do about it now, and it's not a huge deal. I mean, the war was pretty much won already at this stage. And I shouldn't be so hard on myself because at least now everyone else will have a much easier time to finish up the war and highly likely to get no more deaths since there's no more tactic. So then I just went back in with Falcon, finished off the fight with no more problems, but god damn it Kabam, can I just get my tier 5 skill so I can finally take this guy up to rank 3 because I've been sitting on 43,850 frags for I don't know how long now. And it is getting pretty annoying opening all these tier 5 class catalyst fragment crystals and not getting skill almost every time. It's like they know I want to take up Falcon next, so they're just depriving me of that one class, but I can form Mystic, Mutant, Science and Cosmic like there's no tomorrow. Okay, I think I'm done ranting. Now let's move on to the second last fight of the war, which is going to be this Mr. Fantastic with the best defense, Spry, Brute Force and Limber. Another fight that Falcon works really well for. In fact, he works extremely well for this fight. In fact, I was a little bit surprised to be honest because I haven't actually used him against an evader in war before. So I was getting some very nice damage from this fight just from all those passive cruelties. And yeah, they stack up pretty quickly. So you're going to see a lot of big yellow numbers in this one. And I think Falcon might actually be my favorite counter for this fight. Just because of how well and how quickly he deals with it. Because I usually use Nick Fury for this fight, but I'm seeing now with Falcon, it's so easy that it's actually a joke now. And this is a rank 2 Falcon, I can't wait to take him to rank 3 because it'll be even easier, it'll be even faster. I can actually compare him to the rank 3 Fury. I mean, the thing about Nick Fury is that you get the fight done faster if he's lost the decoy, otherwise it will be slower. I mean, look at that special 2. The special 2 doesn't even hit that hard, generally speaking, you know, but all those crits are just doing so much more damage with all those passive cruelties. So yeah, pretty easy fight with Falcon. Barely took... Actually, it took less than a minute. A little bit less. Alright, I'm going to move on to the Apocalypse boss. No time wasted. Going to apply some more boost for Tech, just to get a bit more power from those special 2s and do a bit more damage with them. And now I'm going to use an invulnerability boost because like I said before, I wasn't sure how this fight would go. Mainly just due to the block damage because I'm not the best at fully dexing his special 1 just yet. I get it done like probably 60% of the time, which is not good enough for war. But yeah, I still need to practice on that, so I'm going to be relying on mostly just dexing the special 2 rather. I think it's because of champs like Guardian and Sorcerer Supreme. I use Guardian quite a lot in Alliance Quest, so I've gotten a bit lazy in learning how to dex some of these special attacks. So I go in with Warlock, and my strategy for this fight is basically to prevent him from throwing special attacks, particularly the special 1. So in order to do that, I'm going to be holding block quite a lot to bait that combo, or bait the heavy attack, and then punish after that. And this worked really well, I must say. He was very cooperative, and I'm not even sure if it's like an AI thing. I don't even think it is anymore because it happens quite often now. It's a pretty reliable strategy for this fight. Also helps having a rank 3 Warlock. Although if I had a 5-star, I might just use Suicides or something, but yeah, no, I'm kidding. I probably wouldn't use Suicide still. At least the 5-star will be duped, so I get a bit of degen damage. But yeah, I didn't actually lose that much health in this fight, which you'll see. So ideally, I want to have an infection on him before I throw the special 2, just so that he is armor broken before it starts, so it does a bit more damage. And because he has willpower, I can pretty much constantly power drain him whenever I have an armor break on him. And that's what helps a lot to just manage his power and his special attacks. So in theory, you can actually do this entire fight without him throwing a special attack. It actually is quite possible, as long as you play it right and he cooperates. But yeah, even in this fight, he didn't throw that many special attacks. I think he threw 2 special 2s and maybe 1 special 1, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, I was even able to push him to 3 bars of power, knowing that I would armor break him, and then drain a little bit of that power. And he's going down pretty steadily as well. I mean, the hit count might look a bit high, but I mean, it is Warlock. The special 2 does like 10,000 hits or something, so yeah, I shouldn't be worried about that. More concerned with how quickly or how efficiently he deals with the fight, you know, how much health he loses and all that. And at this stage, I was getting pretty confident. I was feeling very comfortable with the fight that I even started blocking the special 2 because I had so much health left that, yeah, it just doesn't even matter. So yeah, just keep on holding that block, baiting that heavy attack, and then just punishing. Pretty simple fight, you know, as long as you know the formula, you can recognize these animations. It helps if you can dex the special 2. I do find it a lot easier than the special 1, but even if you can't, you can still block it and shouldn't be too bad as long as you don't take too many of them. So yeah, shouldn't be too bad unless he doesn't have willpower for some reason. I'd actually be shocked if I saw a boss without willpower. Like, that would actually throw me off if I'm using Warlock for this fight. But that's why, you know, dexing the special 2 does come in quite handy, because then you can still deal with it pretty effectively. And then just don't push into 3 bars of power. I mean, that's really the main difference. It's just that more dexing of the special 2, and you can't play as aggressively if he doesn't want to throw specials. So yeah, he goes down. Pretty comfortable fight with the Warlock, I must say. Didn't lose that much health and finished in less than 3 minutes. And now the tactic has been removed, so everyone can finish up section 2 without worrying about protect. So yeah, pretty effective or pretty successful boss rush. So now I can't say we won the war because at the time I'm recording this, it is still going on. So there's still about 3 hours left. But I can say we will win just by looking at the stats. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe to get more war videos like this coming very soon. Also check me out on Twitter, where I post a lot of game related stuff that might or might not make it onto a video. I might also tweet about other stuff like other games I play or interests, but it's mostly MCOC. Links in the description along with my mastery setup and the soundtrack for this video. So as always, thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.